What's up, guys? Let's learn how to create a button. It's a very simple thing, but I am doing like a Figma basics, so I can teach you how to create these basic components and how to use auto layout and everything else. I will do a separate video just for the auto layout stuff, but I think you can get a grasp of what auto layout is while I am creating a button. So let's jump to the computer and you guys can follow along. So I will select the 14-15 Pro and then we can start creating a button. The first thing we need to do, of course, is to create a text. So in this case, let's write down here button, for example. I will centralize the text here. And okay, let's see what size is this font. 12. I will change that for 16. I think 16 is a good size for a button in mobile because we are using like a frame for a mobile device. What I'm going to do here is basically click Shift A. This is how you transform things. You apply auto layout on components. So let's click on Shift A. And then we already have the auto layout. So first, before we move to auto layout, let me give a color to this button. So we come here on fill, click here and change the color to maybe blue. Let's see. Okay, blue I think is fine. And let's change the text color to white so we can see it better. We can increase the size of this button. If you click on it and hold Alt on your keyboard in Windows or in Mac, in this case, you can hold Option and then you can drag. Holding Option, you can drag the sides and both sides will kind of expand. And what we need to do now, we can go back to this box, and if I click here, you see that the content inside of this box is moving. Okay, so that's the purpose of this. You can select where this content will be. Perfect. So what we have here, we have horizontal padding and vertical padding. Basically, this will create a protection around your texts. So it will give you like a breathing space for the component. It's not like too tight on the text. If I remove that, you see that we have nothing protecting the text. So if the button gets small, it will have anything like around it. It's not very pleasing to the eye and is also not giving the emphasis to the button. So let's go back and then we have, let's put, I think on the sides I like to put 16 and on the top I will put 8 in this case. I think 8 is okay. Let's make it a little bit bigger, so hold Alt and drag it. I think we can change for semi-bold. I think it's okay. Nice. After that, we also have other options here on auto layout. I will not use it yet, but I will show you until the end of this video. I would like also to add an icon. I will use this when I am creating wireframes. I use Iconify just to get some quick like icon without thinking too much. Usually it's good to have icons from like certified libraries and things that already the icons are well created, they are free to use. In this case, I think I will choose like an arrow. Sorry guys, my English is not the best one, but let's keep moving. So we have here an arrow. I'll use this one. I think it's okay. And then I can click on import and nice. Okay, so we have now this. The size of this is 15:15. I will change to a multiple of 8 at least, because if you know that on UI design usually it's good to use multiple of 8. You can use other sizes, but I like to use multiples of 8 to create things. I can do a video about it. Okay, let's put it here and then we have it. So now we have a button and we have an icon. So that's where that part of the auto layout enters, these arrows here. How this works. So basically, if I have two components together, if I select these two like this and click Shift A, now both are inside of an auto layout. You can do that. You can have multiple components inside of an auto layout. And these arrows will basically tell this auto layout here, the button and the arrow together, this will tell it to move in a certain way. So as you can see here, is moving horizontally, but we can change to move vertically. So then they will be below each other. And we have a third option here, and this is the wrap option. So when you have these components and the button, for example, gets too tiny, they will go below each other. So they will stay like this for now because we have space. So if I try to make this smaller, it will wrap up, okay? So that's the science behind it. So in this case, we don't need to use the wrap option. I will keep this one, the horizontal option. And then of course we need to put some border radius here. I will choose 8 because it's a button for a mobile version. So I think 8 is enough. We have this rounded corners, but not too much because it's a tiny component. If it was a bigger button, maybe 16. In this case, just 8. We have some spacing between these two. I think I will choose 4. I think it will be better. Perfect. Now we have a great button. What we can do with that? Let's say we have another button and then we want to apply this to maybe a layout. And Shift A on this two, Shift A again. And then let's increase the size of this. I will think 300. Okay, as you can see here, they are on the top, but if I change this, they will be on the bottom. So let's put 16 on this. Let's add a fill. In this case, I will let it white and I will add a stroke. I think that's fine. And we can improve the padding on this model that we are creating. So I'll give you 16 here, the top and the bottom, and 16 here. So as you can see, when I added space on the sides, this is not respecting the space. So this is another thing that we can use like the auto layout for in these options up here. We can tell these buttons to adapt to the size of the pop-up, for example, this pop-up that we are creating. As you can see, we have this as fill, this group as fill, but we need to also tell the buttons to fill, because the options that we have here, as you can see, we have 3 options. We have fixed, hug, and fill. So we have 3 different options to tell this component what to do. If you select fixed, it will stay at the same size as you put it here on the width and on the height. And if you select the hug, this auto layout will hug your button. It will kind of keep the same size as the content that we have inside. So we have this content inside. So if I click hug, it will hug the content inside of it. Okay, but we don't want that. And the third option is the fill. So the buttons are inside of this bigger component. So if we tell the buttons, okay, fill the space that you have, it will stretch until it fills the space. Okay, so let's do that. I will select both buttons and I will change from fixed to fill. And then there you go. It fill all the components here. And as you can see, even if I tell it to fill all the components, it is respecting this here. This is the padding that I added to this pop-up. That's why you use padding, to protect and to give breathing space so your information on anything is more clear. And of course, we could keep going and creating like a pop-up with different buttons and text, but this is just this first look at what we can do with auto layout, very basic, and how we create a button. If you like this video, click on the like button. It will help me understand if you really do like this content, if I should do more. You can comment below, or if you have a suggestion of video for me to bring for you guys, subscribe to the channel, and I see you on the next one. Bye.